Welcome back. This is video 10 in the series. Thank you for being here. As a reminder, the views expressed in this video are my own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of the Air Force, Department of Defense, or the U.S. government. If you haven't watched the previous videos, please watch them to have a better understanding of the whole situation. Otherwise, this video will not make sense. I'm recording this after reviewing the latest decision of the Landstuhl Family Court Judge, Dr. Franz. We petitioned the court to grant me the right to determine residency of my son due to a second police report, which provides further evidence of apparent psychosis by my wife while our son was in her care. My wife suffers from an unknown mental illness, and while it is not her fault, the longer our son remains in her care, the more dangerous the situation becomes. So now we'll break down some of the judge's statements in this decision. Judge Franz writes, quote, "The necessary urgency is lacking." So, after we made Judge Franz aware of the second incident where my wife attempted to flee from the drones she felt were following her with our son in the car, Judge Franz still believes there is no urgency in this matter. The judge writes, "The issuance of a temporary injunction requires an urgent need for immediate action, which does not allow waiting until the main proceedings are ready for a decision, because this would come too late and would not sufficiently protect the interests of the child. Such a need does not exist here." The psychologist selected by the judge to conduct the psychological evaluation wrote a letter to the court on June 20th, 2024, informing the judge that my wife was not cooperating with the evaluation. So knowing this information and being aware of the second police report, Judge Franz reiterates that there is no urgency for immediate action. This judge is playing with fire. Psychosis, which is what it appears my wife has experienced in the police reports, it can be deadly, as evidenced by the article I will link in the description about a mother of 3 from Boston in January of 2023 who strangled her 3 children to death while experiencing an episode of psychosis. Judge Franz writes, "As the Hague Regional Court correctly stated, after extensive investigations, no mental illness of the mother of the child could be established at the time that would prevent her from caring for and looking after the child and justify the withdrawal of the right of residence." As I stated in a previous video, the Hague Regional Court, in addition to refusing to allow me to give my verbal testimony in court, did not read the 66-page report I provided, which included an expert disclosure testimony of Dr. Robert A. Evans, PhD, that highlighted the many failures of Dr. Schwitzgebel's expert opinion, which the Hague Regional Court used to make this decision. When the courts only consider part of the information, their decision is not based on considering all facts and data. The judge again writes, "The fact that the files of the Landstuhl police station contain handwritten comments by the child's mother about drones and microwave beams, which are conspicuous, was taken into account by the court in the main proceedings by commissioning the experts there at the hearing on April 10th, 2024. Here, Judge Franz refers to the statements made with the Landstuhl police station. However, this petition is not about those statements. This petition for the court to remove my son from my wife's care unless she cooperates with the psychologist is based on the second police report, which was made on the military base." Judge Franz further states that my wife had already addressed the incidents in the second police report, but the written statement my wife submitted contradicted her own written statements in the second police report. Perhaps Judge Franz did not actually read the police report or my wife's written statement that she references here. Judge Franz writes, "However, as the expert clearly and convincingly stated in the proceedings before the Hague Regional Court of Zweibrucken, there were indeed indications in the past that the instigator," the translation for me, the petitioner here, "had engaged in behavior that could be considered stalking, so that the question must be clarified by an expert. This inclusion, just as it was in the Hague Regional Court case proceedings, is irresponsible and not based on fact. My wife has made many unfounded allegations of misbehavior on my part, yet she has never provided any evidence to support these claims. Why the higher and lower court judges consistently shift the focus to me is incomprehensible. This is unprofessional on the part of Judge Franz." Under legal remedies, so the end of the statement by the judge, Judge Franz writes, "The resolution is not contestable. This means that I cannot appeal the judge's decision. That's not how justice works. A system that allows a judge to decide what can and cannot be appealed is not fair and judicial. It allows for bias and discrimination." Thank you for watching this video. The only way we will change this broken system here is to create awareness and hold these judges accountable. So please like and share the video. Thank you.